Hello everybody, welcome back to Snorkel YouTube page. It's Daniel and Johnny. We're back for our weekly
comic book review.
Before we jump to the comics real quick, I'm just going to say we've been working at this page for a couple months now.
Yeah.
And we just hit, I think in the last week or two, 100 subscribers, which I know in the big grand scheme of things, there's people that have like 10 million subscribers. But we really appreciate it. I feel like the first 100 is like hard because people want to like the pages that have 2 million followers.
Yeah.
But to like one from scratch is like kind of cool. So
yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys supporting the page, and we like doing the videos, obviously.
Yeah.
But we do it for you guys, and thank you for helping us get some sort of start, and hopefully the future is bright.
There are some really cool things in the next couple months with a lot of video game content that we're going to be putting up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to just be focused on movies and comics. We're going to have a lot of like Madden and FIFA and Battlefield 1 and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. What do we got this week, Dan?
We have Batman. We're going to start with Batman.
Yep, Batman first on deck.
Batman has been battling Gotham.
He's, in case you're unaware, Gotham has kind of gone AWOL. He's going ballistic because Psycho Pirate messed with his mind. He also messed with Gotham Girl's mind, but she's currently safe in the Batcave.
Yeah,
with
so
Duke.
Yeah, him and Batman. Batman's basically trying to like have a final showdown. And stop.
He's doing anything by any means necessary.
He's trying to stop Gotham, right?
Absolutely.
And there's a very funny thing when it opens up. I was like, what the hell is going on with Batman? He looks like shit.
Batman he's not in downtown Gotham where Gotham is starting to go crazy and cause all this destruction. So he says, Alfred, do what you can. And Alfred goes on this funny little like diatribe, basically talking about he's talking as if he's talking to Bruce's father, Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. And
he's like, oh, yeah, the way it's executed is really funny. And he's in the bat suit, he's in the Batmobile. He smashes into Gotham with it, he hops out. Gotham's like, what the hell? Like, this isn't Batman. And then Batman does get there in time, and Alfred runs off. He's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, so Batman is trying to basically stop Gotham because he kind of realizes that he's gone off the rails a little bit. And Gotham's going to destroy Gotham, basically.
Yeah, he realizes that the city, he declares that it's basically a lost cause, and if all it's going to cause is misery, he might as well destroy it himself, because it's caused these bad things to happen. It's caused his parents to get murdered, and now he's going apeshit, basically.
Batman realizes that he's seriously outgunned.
Yeah, I mean,
so he calls in some friends.
Oh, he calls in some friends, all right.
He calls in the Justice League, and they're like there, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a crazy panel where it's just like one whole page, and the Justice League is like there to stop Gotham.
And you weren't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it.
I was not expecting that at all. I mean, you could tell Batman was kind of going all out to do what he could. I mean, he smashed into him with the Batmobile. He blew up the Batmobile. And Duke actually makes a funny comment about how you're going to run out of Batmobiles, which is true because they've blown up like several times during this arc. And then finally he crashes the Batplane onto him, which is a massive explosion. And at that point he's like, damn, this is really... He's like, Alfred, make the call.
Batman ends up getting a bunch of information from Gotham Girl. He's like asking her and basically imploring her to say how they can destroy Gotham.
Yeah.
Because they're just getting their asses kicked. All of them. All the Justice League by Gotham.
Yeah.
And she basically says, we've traded our life, our years of our life, or moments in our life, for powers. It could be an hour, it could be 10 years, or whatever. But basically, he's indestructible.
It's a very interesting explanation, and I'm curious if they'll reveal much more, in later issues, because it doesn't give all the details. It doesn't really explain how this is possible. Gotham Girl kind of snaps out of it, and she realizes, I need to take this in my own hands. I'm almost responsible. And she goes, and she actually kills Gotham.
Yeah, she
kills her brother. She
kills Gotham, and she's kind of saying... from like a futuristic point of view, me and Duke come here every year, and
oh man, I got chills.
have a memorial for my brother.
I thought this was a really good issue. I would give it a 8.5. It felt like a good conclusion, and I'm happy going forward.
I was gonna give it a 9+ review, but I'm gonna give it an 8 just because the ending happened so fast, and
It was
just,
quickly, yeah.
Gotham was literally like for a good 3 or 4 pages like indestructible,
He was going 8.
and then Gotham Girl just killed him, and like they didn't even show a battle or anything. She just kind of like tackled him, and he was dead. Let's jump forward to Aquaman now. Aquaman number 5.
Yep.
And last we saw Aquaman and Mira. They were escaping like a maximum security prison, basically.
They're in a little pickle.
And they walked outside, and there was tons of like military personnel.
Yeah, there's Humvees, there's helicopters, there's tanks, and there's soldiers everywhere. And this issue,
they're fighting through.
it's fucking packed with action. This issue.
They're fighting through all these troops trying to basically escape and get back to Atlantis. Basically, they're conflicting though because Mira wants to just destroy everybody because she realizes that the human race is basically a lost cause, which is basically reality. And Aquaman still has like a glimmer of hope that he can like make relations good between Atlantis and mainland, and he doesn't want anybody to die, but Mira wants to kill everybody. So they're like fighting, but they're fighting with each other and the military at the same time.
It's cool because there's kind of this dynamic where there's the conflict between Mera and Aquaman fighting the U.S. military, and then there's verbal conflict and kind of like perspective between Aquaman and Mera of how they should go about it, basically. Also, meanwhile, in the Arctic, Black Manta is finally meeting the head of Nemo, which is only a very brief moment, but it's kind of developing the Black Manta situation. And finally, the phone call that was made in the Situation Room comes back into play towards the end of the book, and what happens?
Superman shows up.
Yeah, Superman was the phone call.
And that was basically the end of the issue. It was very weird to see Batman, the Justice League shows up, and then Aquaman, Superman.
Everyone's calling Superman this week.
And we're just like, what the hell? It's like very like jarring when you see them cross over. Still, I love this Aquaman series, but there was a couple things in this issue I didn't like. It was way too focused on this one thing where they're just battling and battling and battling with just the troops, and that was like all they were doing. I say this was the weakest issue. I still liked it, but I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was action-packed. I like where the plot's going. I'm very interested to see what happens now that Superman's involved. Also this week, Dan didn't read it, but I did. I got Suicide Squad #1. It introduces all the characters. They obviously get sent on a suicide mission, and it's a very brief glimpse into what's going to be going on with that team and what's going to happen. I liked it. If you're interested at all, I'd suggest picking it up. On the flip side, I also read Justice League, which is #3, I think, at this point, and it's not going anywhere, guys.
Thank you for watching our weekly comic book reviews. We really appreciate it, guys. Come back next week and we'll have some more videos.